Hey guys, it's Scott here from the fragrance channel Scott Aromatico. Welcome. I'm glad you guys found me. Boy, you guys are in for a special treat. I've got my special guest, Russel Mack, joining me today. I'm doing a full-on interview with him. I wanted you guys to meet him and fall in love with him just like me. So please, guys, go ahead and join me on the other side of the break and let's get to know some of these small content creators and give them the support they so richly deserve. Stay tuned. Let's go ahead and I'll dive right into the questions if you're cool with that.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, awesome. So the first question I wanted to ask you is just please go ahead and tell us a little bit about you, a little bit that you're willing to share.
Just a brief synopsis.
Tell them who you are, baby.
All right. Well, my name is Russel Mack. I'm 44 years old. I am married with 4 daughters. Many of you know that already, but I have 4 daughters, and Talia is here with me. She's 14 years old, and I'm trying to teach her, and she wants to follow in my footsteps. And she loves fragrances, and hopefully, she'll stay on the journey with me.
Yeah.
I am originally, I was born in San Diego, California.
Wow.
I don't know how that happened because my mother and my father are from the South, but they went to California to work back in the 70s. And one day, they got together, and later on I came up. But 9 months later, I showed up on the scene, 1976. And then about 10 to 15 years later, I came, we moved back to Louisiana, to a little small town called Ethel, Louisiana. Lord have mercy. It's so small. It's got 1 red light, 1 store, 1 bank, it's one of those type of towns.
Yeah.
And I started school, and I ended up matriculating to Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
And that's where my journey basically started. It basically started in Baton Rouge.
You know your boy Ross from TLT Jesus from Louisiana.
Yeah, yes, I do. Yeah, he's from there too. Yeah.
Okay, and my mother was kind of a hippie. I'm 4 years older than you, and my mother was kind of a hippie, and she went to California to find herself, and she brought in California. Yes. And she came back to Cleveland, Ohio, and brought a souvenir, and that souvenir was me.
That was you.
I was conceived in California, but I wasn't born there. So
okay. Wow, man, that's amazing. So, but you were born in California, though.
No, I was made there. We'll put it to you like that. I was made in California, but I was born in Cleveland.
Well, you got a little touch of it. You still got a touch of it,
Yeah. So the San Francisco area.
That's amazing, man. Amazing. Look at it's amazing. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay, so you're working and living there in the Louisiana area, and doing your thing with the school and all that. How in the world or what event inspired you to get involved in fragrances? What was that one thing?
That one thing, man. My dad kept a dresser full of fragrances.
Really?
And yes, I would always tiptoe into his room when he would leave out to go to work or to the meetings, and I would always get just enough to where I could smell it. But I didn't know, being a child, he could smell it anyway. Okay, but he didn't fuss at me. He was actually glad that I wanted to actually smell good. One of the fragrances that he had was the Polo Green, Ralph Lauren.
Yes.
And that was the one that I fell in love with, man. I started wearing it to school. And,
me too.
Of course, the kids teased me because it was so challenging and earthy and loud. And I was afraid, but it stuck.
That was my first too. Like the first one that I actually had that I thought was like, whoa, Ralph Lauren. Because I was wearing
I
I was
heard
wearing
you
that
like,
Brute and that Old Spice up until then.
yeah, that Brute. Yeah, I got a bottle of Brute right now. I got one. Yes, I
You
do.
know, Pierre
Yes,
Cardin.
Pierre Cardin. Yeah, yeah. You know, I talked about that one. I have that one. I love
Yeah.
those though. That's
Yeah.
why I love them so much, man.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yes, yes, sir. That's what started it. That's what did it, man. And it just kept on. And I didn't really start collecting until I was around about 18, 19 years old.
Oh, so
So
you've been collecting for a long time.
a very long time, man. I've
Wow.
lost fragrances. I've sold fragrances.
Really?
I even got into a little selling at one time. But
Wow.
school and traveling, I traveled overseas playing jazz music for a while. So that kind of
What?
stopped it. Yeah, man. Yeah, I had a chance to
No.
meet. I met the Pope back in the 80s, early 80s, and it was a program with a couple of schools that came together, and they picked the best of the best to
Wow.
travel. Yes, sir. And one of the places we went was Rome, Italy, and we played at the Vatican, right outside the Vatican, man. And Pope
Wow.
gave us all a rosary. And that was one of the highlights of my life, man.
Yes.
That's what really told me there was something about traveling and meeting
Yes.
people. It made me more cultured, if you will, you know.
Yeah, I know. I've had a chance to go to Venice myself.
Oh yeah, so you know how beautiful uh, other places are, you know.
It barrages your five senses.
Yes,
It's
it
like,
does.
boom, bombards it. It's crazy.
It's almost overwhelming, you know.
My man, I love me some Miles Davis now.
Oh man, come on, bro. It's nothing
I'm
better.
not lying. I got a Miles Davis t-shirt to prove it right in my dresser drawer.
I saw it. You had it on. I think it's one of those videos you did.
I love me some Miles Davis, man.
I say, look at my brother got the Miles Davis on. So yeah, so you really got some music in your background.
I like listening to music. I wish I knew how to play. I'm the only art I can do is I can draw, but I can't play music. I bought a guitar once, and I couldn't teach myself to play it. I had a friend desperately trying to teach me, but I got the calluses and everything, but I didn't know how to go from chords seamlessly, and I just wasn't any good at it, so I gave it up.
Okay, well, you know it's never too late now. There are easier
I know, right?
ways
That's
now
true.
to learn. Yeah, it's easier ways. Think about it.
I shouldn't make excuses.
No, man. You know, if you want to learn it, learn it. It's ways to do it now. You know,
absolutely.
Yeah, just think about that. That'll be a great thing.
Do you like Justin because of the jazz?
Yes, yes.
Justin played professionally as well.
Yeah, yeah. I think he still does play.
Still does. He teaches as well. Teaches jazz. So.
Yes, he does.
That's
man,
awesome.
That's the highlight of that when I watched that interview.
Yeah,
man, I was jumping up in the bed because he plays trumpet. I play trumpet and drum.
Yeah.
So I was very happy to hear that because you don't hear that. That's shocking to hear in the frag. You know? Yeah. So I was elated, man, when I heard that. That's why I love these interviews. I love what you're doing. Yeah. Right? Yes, I do.
It's so much fun. I'm getting so much value out of it, and I hope it's portraying to other people as well, where they're getting inspired by it as well.
Yes, sir. I believe it is. It inspires me. So
you've been doing this you've been collecting fragrances for a long time. That is amazing because I came late to the game. It was like for me like around college, in my 20s when I first really got into it.
Wow. So what made you, if you don't mind me asking you, what made you get what was that thing? Although you were wearing polo and all of the Pierre Cardin.
So I, once I got through college, and I'll keep it short because I want to make it about you. But once I got through college, I was wearing the polo green, and then I kind of, graduated to Jacquard because Jacquard was the thing back then. And then, I was kind of doing the Calvin Klein stuff with Eternity and Obsession. And then I think the first time I kind of broke away from those male clothing designers was when I went to this fragrance that somebody was telling me about by a lady by the name of Nicole Miller. And I bought my first Nicole Miller fragrance, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. And then I went from that to the Tommy, because the Tommy was so fresh and he was big everywhere in the 90s.
Popular. Yes, he was popular, very popular.
And so then really, I didn't really buy my first real Italian fragrance this gentleman, he was a black gentleman. We worked together in a factory, and he's like, "Have you not gotten your nose on Dolce&Gabbana light blue?" I said, "No, I never heard of it." He's like, "You got to get that. That's the best." He was a preacher, and he also worked at the factory, and he kept telling me I needed to try this light blue. So I was running out of fragrance, and I ran out, and that was the first time I bought Dolce&Gabbana, anything Italian, and I bought the Dolce&Gabbana. But see, how I bought fragrances is, to me, back when I was wearing those fragrances, even in the early 2000s, to me, a name like Dolce&Gabbana seemed expensive, and I thought those were it. I didn't even know there was any such thing as niche. I had no idea that there was upper crust fragrances. I thought Dolce&Gabbana was upper crust. And I didn't know about no gray market and being able to buy online. I just knew you went into Macy's, Dillard's, you bought it, you paid $100 for it. And so what I tried to do is only spray them for special occasions or when I was going on a date, because I didn't want to blow through the bottle because it was so expensive. And so I would buy all my bottles at tax season. So I would try to make it last to the next tax season and get another one.
Some of us.
So once I blew through Dolce&Gabbana, I was like, well, I already had that one. I know I like it. I don't want to get something. I don't want to get the same thing. So then I went to Acqua di Gio because I smelled it in someone's apartment one time, a friend of mine. And I was like, oh my gosh, that smells like heaven. So I was going back and forth for about 4 years where I would finish up my bottle of Acqua di Gio and then go back to light blue, finish up my bottle of light blue, go back to, I just was going back and forth between those two. And I did that for a long time. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, for a very long time until I discovered Jeremy Fragrance.
Oh yeah,
and then the rest is history. But
that did it for you.
Wow. Yeah, and I never had two fragrances at once until recently.
Really?
Yeah, never. I only just had one because I bought that one and made it last for a year.
For a year. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Isn't that crazy?
I don't know how you did that though, because it's hard to.
I know now when I think about it, I don't know how I did it.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. That's amazing.
So whatever scent I was wearing for that year was my signature scent because that was the only scent I wore,
Yeah,
so
waiting on tax season.
Right. Well, so now that you and I are frag heads, well, you've been in a frag head for a while and we have so many.
Yes, sir.
Were you ever too embarrassed to tell anybody, or was it anything, because how people tend to think that that this is kind of like a beauty thing, it's in the beauty line. Some guys may think it's not macho. Did you ever get embarrassed with it?
Man, yes, I did. I because I was in high school, and so high school, you want to smell good.
Yeah, for ladies,
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So I've always hid fragrances in my locker, in my book sack, and I would only, really talk about them around the ladies. I wouldn't really mention them in the locker room because I knew, and back in the 90s, it was early 90s, it was different, But finally, around the late 90s, man, a young lady she's passed on, she told me, I shouldn't hide that. There's nothing wrong with smelling good, that I should start to talk about my fragrances because the ladies always love the way I smell.
Mm-hmm.
Back at high school, all up through high school, when I went out on some of the musical adventures we had, they have always. So I finally went on and came out, man, and I didn't really care after that. Once I came out and found out that there were others who shared the same passion, who shared the same love, who was collecting. I didn't know nothing about collecting, though. I just was buying them, wearing them, selling them, and And then finally, graduation night, man. That's what did it. I wore, what was that I wore, man? I wore Cool Water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cool Water.
I had that one too in the 90s.
Yeah, man. And then it was such a big part of what I was doing back then in 95, what's his name? John Paul Gaultier. It came out the same year I graduated, man. And so I went back, washed that off in the bathroom because we was going out to the club afterwards, and I sprayed on John Paul Gaultier. I saved it because I knew nobody else had it. It was big, it was popular.
Yeah.
And when I came out, man, that was a wrap. That did it. We went out, had a good time. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even know that was such a person back in the 90s, honestly.
Yeah.
Wow.
95, 1995.
I had no idea he existed back then.
Yeah.
That's
95.
crazy.
And I got it. I found a bottle of the Mel the other day, and I got a little small one, a little 1.7. And man, it's still amazing that fragrance still is around, right now. You know, the Mel Perfume, and so it's amazing that some of these fragrances already existed. They were already there, man. We just didn't know it.
No, exactly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So do you have in this, now that things have changed, obviously, since you've been, into the fragrance game and you finally found out that, people were collecting, and now the whole game has changed via the internet. The internet has made us all smaller and connected everybody, and you can go on Instagram, you can go on YouTube, and you can just see there are other people that are like-minded.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite fragrance YouTuber? And it doesn't have to be just one. If you've got more than a couple, you can name it.
I love watching JP Fraiche.
Okay.
I'm into a lot of the newer guys. Like Trey Scent from Trey Scent Reviews. I love Manuel. Keith over at Fragrant Life. You, of course, I watch you all the time.
No, I was talking more like which one, which is there one that really influenced you in this thing, or you just like the small guys?
Early in the game, when I first came into the frag game, man, Redolescence was one of the biggest influences on me. That's who I watched all the time. Because I didn't know they had a person on YouTube that would take a fragrance like this is by Prada Cologne, and would preview the packaging, the bottle, that would talk about the top, and then we'll talk about the smell. That's what I'm wearing today. This is my scent of the day, for those of you that didn't know that existed. And when I found Redolescence, Gents, people like that, man, Joy Armine, when I found them, I was hooked. That did it for me. And every waking moment, I was on YouTube watching one of Steven's videos, watching one of Joy Armine's videos. Yeah, man, and I still do it today. I'm still like that today. I still make time to watch some of my favorite reviewers. Awesome. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so yes, Jeremy's sir. who so when I was thinking about when tax season came, I was like, I'm not, the first time I was decided, I was like, okay, I'm going to get Acqua di Gio because I like it, but I want another one. I had it in my head. I was going to have two for the first time. And I was like, what's going to be my second fragrance? Because me and my wife were talking about it. I was like, I don't want to just own one. I want to have two. And I was like, all right, well, let me search Google. And the first person that pops up is Jeremy. And I was like, well, look at this handsome kid. So I pop on one of his videos and start watching it. And I'm just, literally while I'm watching this, my mind is just going, there's notes and fragrances.
Mind blowing.
Fragrances have a top, a mid, and a dry down. And I'm like, what? My mind was blown. I don't know why. And this happened during the pandemic. The pandemic had just started. Really? So, and I also had made a decision in my head that I was like, because I've only been on Instagram for a year and I've only been doing YouTube for 6 months. I said, I was like, I want to learn something new. I don't want this pandemic to bring me down. I don't want what's happening in the world politics to bring me down. I'm going to keep my focus on something new that I've never done. And so I started just diving into the Jeremy videos. But you know who the next person I watched is? Not even a fragrance YouTuber. The next person I watched, he came on. He's an influencer, but he is for men's fashion, and that's this guy Alex Costa. And Alex Costa did these videos on fragrances too. So I watched his, and I was like, man, there's these guys that are good looking, they're manly, they're enthusiastic. I was just like, I was hooked. And I just started watching everybody. I started watching Dallas. Dallas is who I watched the most after Jeremy. And then I discovered Ross after Dallas, and then Steven, and it's just, I even like the ladies. I love watching Demi Rawling, and some of the other. I love them.
Yeah, she's got her own fragrance out, doesn't she? I heard.
Yeah, they all are now. Dallas has got one. Steven's got one. Ross and Justin are about to get one.
Wow.
Everybody's getting fragrances. Even
Yeah.
Ash has got one now.
Come on, Ash got a fragrance. Come on,
Ash
man.
started his own company.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like creative director, just like Steven is. I don't know the name of it, but he started his own. I just found that out a couple days ago.
That's the beauty of it. That's the
I
beauty
know.
of
Awesome.
this collecting. The beauty of YouTubing, man. You can parlay it into something that's beyond your wildest dreams, man.
Yeah,
that's my dream. My dream is to one day have my own line.
It's a good dream.
Yes, sir. And but I'm into clothes too. I'm into fashion. I'm into shoes and hats and stuff. But fragrances it's top on my list.
Me too.
I don't know why. I don't get it. I don't know. It's just something I love, and I'm willing to.
You got to go with that gut feeling. That gut feeling's there for a reason.
Yes, I'm here for as long as it takes, man.
If you love it, it doesn't matter how long it takes.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
Like if you're a musician, and you love playing trumpet, you're going to play it whether people come to see you or not. You're never going to stop playing it.
It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter.
Come out or not, I'm playing.
Well, this is no different.
I still play drums. I still play drums now, but I'm still gigging with the drums. I play for several groups here in Baton Rouge and choirs, and I also have my own group that I'll be, pandemic kind of shut down a lot of it.
I know.
But, we're getting back into it now.
I know. So exactly. If you love to do it, you're just going to keep on doing it anyways. Hey, can I wanted someone to come and say hi to you. Can I do that real quick? This is my wife. This is my wife, Mandy. She just walked in. So say hi to her.
Hi, Russell. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Gorgeous.
Good.
Gorgeous lady.
Thank you. Just came back from the grocery store.
You can tell I'm a good salesman, right?
Yeah. Oh, she got some food. So she got food in the bag.
Yeah, she's got groceries, but she's got my boy to help her get them out. So
I enjoy seeing her with you on your previews. Great team.
We got to do that more. We haven't done it enough lately, but we're going to do it some more.
Yes,
because I want to do things that are different about the channel, and that's one of the things is I want to involve the family more, and I want to do the interviews and just add value. That's all I want to do.
That's right. That's perfect.
What is your favorite designer house?
My favorite designer house? Oh man, right now, Prada.
Put you on the spot.
Prada, but I can say it with ease. Prada, my favorite. Prada right now is my favorite. Of course, I love Versace. The Dylan Blues. But
awesome.
Prada and then Tom Ford, man, without a hands down. I can say it with ease.
Tom's blurring that line, he has a designer name, but he's kind of like making that niche quality stuff.
Yes, he is. That's why I love it. I love it so much, man.
He's like designer luxury, I guess, is what you call it. I don't know.
That's it. Perfect name for it.
Yeah. He's got the designer name, but he definitely makes some high quality fragrances. What about niche? Do you have a favorite niche house?
Right now, I would say Mansura, man. It's affordable. Yes. Yeah. Great quality fragrances.
Very good.
Yeah, man. I mean, come on, prices.
More bang for your buck with that company.
Yes, man. And then it's older Parfum concentrate. It'll nose blind you. You know.
I know.
The Cedroc Boise, red tobacco. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
That's what I love about Steve at Kingdom Fragrance. He sells when he has that stuff in. He sells it for like $60, $70. And I'm like I'm paying designer prices, and that stuff lasts all day. Like I have red tobacco, I have Cedroc Boise, and I want to try more of those. I have a decant of Instant Crush, but I can't hardly wear it. I can't hardly wear it because it fills up the room, like it chokes me out.
It's strong. It's strong.
You can only spray that thing one time.
But
it's a flamethrower.
That's the truth. That stuff's strong. Yeah, man. JP sent me a bottle, man. He sent me a whole bottle, and I have been on it ever since he sent it. I can't stop smelling it, man.
I saw your review on the blue. Is I say Aoud or whatever, the blue one by Mansura. I need to get me that. I need to get a hold of that.
It's going to surprise you though.
Yeah.
It's gonna surprise you. It's not your average blue fragrance, you know.
Okay.
It has rose in it and
Yeah.
you know, several notes that violet. It's got violet leaf in it. So you're gonna love that.
Makes it a little powdery. Okay, cool.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is your favorite thing about doing the YouTube videos? If you could name one thing.
Well, if I could name one thing, man, it's connecting with other people. That's the top of my list. That's the top thing. I love to meet people. When I'll take you, for instance, the first time you commented on my video and I reached out to you and we started talking, for me, that energizes me. Mm-hmm. So I don't care what's going on in my life. I don't care what's happening on YouTube. Just that alone does something. It's like it's electrifying. You feel me? Yeah, exactly. So I love that. That's the top of my list.
That's awesome, man. Cool.
Yeah.
How about the least favorite thing about doing YouTube?
Well, I can't understand. You know, we know that fragrances are subjective. I do not understand the nasty, negative comment.
No, it's people live for it.
Nothing. It doesn't take nothing to just, if you don't like the content, if you don't like the person, if you don't like the fragrance, then you don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
You know, or if you can't be constructive and respectful, then why say anything at all?
I don't know.
That's the thing.
I don't get it. It's I don't mind people having an opinion, and it doesn't have to be the same as mine. And that's in anything, whether it's politics, sports, religion. You can have that. I just don't like when people say it as a matter of fact. So if you say something's not good, then say, in my opinion, this is not good. But people just know, so I've just done a video, for 15 minutes. I've put it all out there. I've taken the time to edit it. I've made my silly thumbnail. You know, I put it out there, and then somebody's like, yeah, that one sucks. And I'm like, what do you think? Do you think I'm lying? Yeah, I told you I like it because I like it. And it's not a one size, it's not a one size fits all. You know, it may last 8 hours on me, but 4 on you because our chemistry is different. You know, I might be hydrated more than you. Your pH balance might be off. You might got a bad batch. Or you just don't like it. It's just so subjective.
Like that, and that's out of their mindset, man, out of their realm of thinking. No, it can't be a bad batch.
No.
It can't be my skin.
No.
You know.
Yes.
I could easily get down in there and go back and forward, and my mouth can be dangerous if I wanted it to be. But why? You know, why would it come out of my character, step down? About a friend of mine used to tell me, my pastor, God rest his soul, he would always say, man, that a giraffe and a turtle don't have no business conversation. So I'm so high, I'm so much into what I'm doing, I don't have to come down the way you are.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I like that one because you're so high up and they're down. You have to stoop down to their level. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. That's all. That's all it is.
What's the one piece of advice you would give someone who maybe, say your daughter's thinking about doing this, right? If you were going to talk to her or all the people that are listening to this right now, what's the one piece of advice you would give them about doing YouTube, about starting out on YouTube?
Oh man, easy. Well, I would tell you, get ready to endure. You need endurance, patience. Patience is a virtue. And I know so many people that have a problem with waiting. It's not going to happen overnight. It took me so long to get 100 subscribers. Mm-hmm. And it can really be overwhelming. It can really be discouraging. But take a deep breath. If you need to take a day and not record, don't do it. Don't, you know, YouTube is going to be there whether you record or not. Yeah. Okay. those people are going to be there, man. So don't stress, you know, it'll come in time. And now my channel is growing slowly, but it's growing. You know, I'm meeting people, I'm learning things. Look at this. I never thought I'd be sitting on camera being interviewed by relatively new YouTube. So don't tell me what can't happen. Things happen every day.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful. I would say be patient, have some endurance, have some dedication, because if you're not dedicated, then what's the point?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's my best advice I can give. I know there's a lot of other things we can say, but if you're not going to be enduring, if you're not dedicated, if you're not patient, then it really doesn't matter anyway. Yeah.
That's funny. That's the same advice when I was conversating with Steve at Fragrance Fanatic. Steve, he the guy that owns Kingdom Fragrance. He always pounded that home to me. Slow and steady wins the race, Scott. Slow and steady wins the race. And then the other thing, which I didn't really know what he meant when he said this at the time, but now I do. He's like, just be yourself. Just be yourself. Don't try to be anybody else. Don't try to be any other YouTuber. Don't try to.
That too.
Yeah. Yeah. So
no,
because people need your point.
Yes, they do, man. Look, I'm gonna be the best me I can be. It takes too much though for me to be me, to try to bring someone else into the equation. So be the best you that you can be. Don't let nobody beat you being you, and don't let nobody alter you just because they're doing this or saying this or doing it this way. No, stick to what you do. I'm Russel Mack. Welcome to Solomon's Vineyard. Let's get it. That's me, and nobody else gonna do that like I do. So no, great point, man. Great point. That is a great bit of advice.
And this just popped in my head while you were talking. And this is a lesson that I am just now learning. I talked about this with my wife maybe Friday. One other lesson, and it just came to my head, so I want to share it, is your success in this for Scott or Russell or whoever I'm talking to that's watching this is not dependent on anybody else. Do not put all your chips, do not put all your hopes on someone else supporting you, sending you something, being there for you. Your success is dependent on you staying disciplined, staying, when I say disciplined, if you want to do it 2 days a week, just stick with it, do it 2 days a week. If you want to do it 3 days a week, if you want to do it one day, but just stay disciplined, but just do something.
Do something.
And it's not dependent on anybody else. Don't rely on anybody else. Just do your, somebody slights you. That's going to happen, man. People are people. People are busy. That's what I'm trying to learn right now is because, there's people that'll make commitments to you. There's people that say they're going to come through for you and they don't. And you can get all butthurt about it. But really, at the end of the day, it's not on them to make me happy. It's not on them to make me successful. It's on me.
Yeah. It happens.
And you can't hold it against people like that either.
No, man, it happens. You got to go into this knowing that people are still people at the end of the day. And like you said, things happen sometimes things happen beyond our control. And you've made a commitment, and sometimes it may look like you've done, you did it on purpose, but a lot of times it just be a miscommunication. It don't even be a lot of times what people make it out to be. But in case they do, remember, people are we still human at the end of the day. So, you're exactly right. I try not to base my success on what someone else going to do for me or say. No, I try to keep a clear view of where I'm headed,
That's right.
So yeah, man, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Yes, sir.
We already talked about this a little bit. So my next question was going to be, what do you do about the negative commenters? But we already kind of talked about, over years you've developed thick skin and it's just better to not stoop down to their levels, what we kind of communicated. So I don't really have to ask that question.
But they did create something that's perfect for those kind of scenarios, man. The best thing is called block. BLOCK. Block, delete.
Or just really piss them off and kill them with kindness.
Kill them with kindness, yeah. I try not to use the block button or delete button. I let them come on and just love them. Love the hell out of them. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So do you think it's worth doing these online videos with it becoming kind of so saturated, in this day and age?
Wow, man. Yeah, I know we inundated with all kinds of channels but I will say As long as they're making people, yeah, I think there's plenty room. You know, there are people that still don't know about Frag. There are people that's logging on every day, man, every day. So you know, I would dare say that it's too much. No, it was never too much. I think it's like anything else, you know. There's always room for growth. There's always room for improvement. Of course, it's always, you know, room to get better. But no, man, I say if you're interested in it, just make sure you're serious about it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, sir.
And then like when me and Ross were talking, and I agreed with what he said, you know, he's like, I would never tell somebody to not do it, even if it's become saturated, because if it makes you happy, then why not do something that makes you happy and that you love and you're passionate about?
Who am I to say, well, look, YouTube is too many previewers on YouTube. It's just way too many talking about niche and designer. Why don't you pick something else? Yeah. Who am I to do that? Right?
Exactly.
And there are people out here that will do that, but that's normally usually because of control issues and other things. But no, if you happy about it and you're happy with doing it, if you're not hurting anybody, if you're not tearing anybody down, why not?
Yeah,
come on,
I agree. Take your mind off what's going on in the world.
It's so much going on now. I mean, something, you know. Yeah. Do something with yourself, you know.
I 100% agree.
Yes, sir.
Do you, here's a question I just started asking. I haven't asked this of everybody, but we touched on it a little bit. You said you had a dream of, you know, one day having your own fragrance line and things like that. There are some people out there who I've heard this line of thinking where they're only going to follow small content creators. And there's some people who say they don't like people making an income in the fragrance community. Where do you stand with that, if I may ask?
Man, look, then, you know, eventually that's my goal, is to monetize. So no, I'm not against it. You know, now if you choose not to, you know, go to that level, then that's up to you. But as for me, if I can grow to the place to where I can monetize and become successful in this, because it's not like it don't happen. It's been happening. It's happening all over the country. But if I can be a part of that, yes, I will. I will do that. You know,
I have no problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah, whether I feel, whatever way I feel about it, it's not going to really impact anything. No way. So I might as well do me. Yeah, do the best that I can with it, and you know, leave the rest to the rest. You know.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm the same way. I always, like, because of my love for music, I in a couple of my other videos, I've always just related it back to music. You know, we talked about earlier that people would still play their guitars or play the drums if they truly loved it, whether someone was paying them or not. But then if somebody discovers you,
they still will do it,
and you have a chance to make money from it, you know, you got to think, well, man, there's no glory in sleeping on couches and living from paycheck to paycheck. If I have a chance to help my family out and other people out, why not take it? And then, then you're reaching more people, not so you can make more money, you're just reaching more people and they're reaching you. And that's a beautiful thing as well.
That's right.
Like I you know, I grew up in the 90s loving Nirvana, you know, and like if Kurt would have not become a sellout, you know, quote unquote, then I never would have got to experience his beautiful music. And I'm glad that, you know, he became a sellout so I could enjoy his music. And, you know, he touched me with, you know, his music. And so I'm glad he did, you know, otherwise he could have just, you know, stayed poor and never made a dime, you know, or whatever. And none of us would know who he is.
We would not know who Kurt is. That's right.
Or whoever, pick whoever your favorite, whether it's Miles Davis or, you know, Louis Armstrong, you know, whatever.
I like Kurt. I love Kurt. Yes, I do.
Yes, all right, let's go on over into the fun part of it, shall we?
Uh-oh.
You ready for the fun part?
Oh boy, come on with it. Okay. Come on with it.
Okay. What's your favorite fragrance in your collection?
Oh man. Lord.
These are the hard-hitting journalistic questions.
Ooh, yeah, you hit me hard.
People want to know. Yeah, you can name more than one.
It could be more than one?
Yeah, you do three. Do three.
Okay, well, definitely.
The house is on fire, man, and you're running out. Which one do you grab?
Wow. Okay. Prada Long.
Okay.
Prada Long. That's one. I got it with me. Okay.
The fresh, soapy, clean.
Yes, sir. I can wear it anytime. Okay. Zaharoff signature.
Yes. That's
gotta have it.
Mommy.
I got to have it.
That's mine.
Haven't smelled the others yet. I've only smelled the Royal new signature Royale. I smelled that one. I love it. But that one for sure is a signature. And then if I had to grab one more, man, it would definitely be John Paul Gaultier's La Mer Parfum.
Woo!
That's I gotta have.
Is that the one that was made by Francis Kurkdjian? Was he the master performer?
Yeah, that started with him. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yes. And now he's got his own company, of course.
Yeah, that's right. So that anybody that know Russel Mack's channel, you know that La Mer Parfum is one of my favorites. That all black bottle, man. Mm-hmm. That's so good. So good.
That's your joint, huh?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay. So you already revealed at the very beginning, that you played music and that you were into jazz and that you got to meet the Pope. Do you have anything else other than that everybody that's watching this would be surprised to know about you? Anything that could top that?
Yeah, I do. I actually am I sing, of course, but I'm also an ordained minister. I actually preach the word of God. I've traveled all over the world doing that also. Yes, sir. I love Jesus.
Nice.
Yes, I do. Not ashamed.
That's
not ashamed. I love it.
No,
but yes,
amen.
I am. I'm an ordained minister. I've been preaching for the last 25, 30 years. I love the word. Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm with you on that one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. What's Russell's favorite movie?
I love mob pictures. Godfather, man. Godfather.
Okay. I just recently saw that. It was about 5 years ago. I just recently saw it.
Man, I love organized crime, movies about the mob. Carlito's Way, Scarface, The Godfather, Unusual Suspects. I could watch that all day and not move.
Yeah, man. Those are good.
Some coffee and some banana nut bread. I'm in the house. Yes, sir.
Gotcha. That's awesome, man. Cool.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Banana nut bread.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So do you have a favorite musical group or favorite solo artist or anybody that really speaks to you? Could be more than one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Phyllis Hyman, man. She's gone on. Phyllis Hyman, she committed suicide, but man, that woman there, Phyllis Hyman, Dionne Warwick, people like that, man. Anita Baker. I love jazz, so that's right up my alley, right there.
Yeah. I got you.
I love
good stuff.
I like Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
You know about Earth, Wind, and Fire? Wind, and Fire. Frankie Beverly Mays. Yeah. So those are my favorite. Some of my favorite groups, man.
My music's all over the place, man. It's like I love Elvis and I love Led Zeppelin and I love Sinatra and I love, man, when I'm drawing, my favorite thing to do when I'm drawing is I like to relax is I listen to the crooners, I listen to Nat King Cole, I listen to Frank, I listen to Dean, Sammy,
Frank Sinatra.
All those guys that I love the crooners, that there's something about those guys. And so, there's
I love them
on
too.
my app, I'll put on the crooner channel and just listen to, some of that big band jazz and, all that stuff. I love it, but I'm all over the place. There's only one music that I don't really relate to that well. I used to listen to it a little bit back in the 90s because of one guy, but I don't really relate to country, but I do like Garth Brooks a little bit.
Okay.
But other than I love Garth's stuff from the 90s, but man, for the most part, like country music is the one music I can't relate to. I just don't vibe with it. But you know, I like some hip hop. I like R&B. 80s pop. I'm a sucker for. Like,
come on, man.
George Michael, Michael Jackson, Phil Collins, Billy Joel, NXS, Depeche Mode. Like, I could just go on and on and on and on. You know, all that stuff, man.
Pop. Yeah, I love 80s pop too. Yeah,
I'm a sucker for that stuff. Prince, Bruce Springsteen, just crazy.
Yes,
but
definitely.
Not a big fan of the pop music of today. Every once in a while, there'll be a song out there that catches me, but for the most part, I mean, Bruno Mars does some big things, but for the most part, I don't like a lot of it. So
I stick to my oldie. I stick to my old school and my jazz.
I haven't like that. I like the old oldies diner music, you know, like with Fats Domino and all those guys. I love that stuff. But all right, cool. So what is Russell got? Any big things for the channel? What are you hoping to accomplish? What are your goals? What do you got? Anything you want to promote? Anything you good?
Well, right now I'm working on getting to 1,000 subs because I want to monetize eventually.
Okay.
I want to put out some t-shirts, hats, Solomon's Vineyard cups, coffee mugs. I want to take this as far as I can take it, man. It wouldn't make sense if you know, and of course I love, you know, just the love of fragrances. If I have a chance to grow my channel and take it a little further and monetize, because I love clothing too. I love clothing too. So eventually I want to put out a sweatshirt or two, coffee mug, some headbands, some women apparel, you know, stuff of that nature. Yeah, that's my goal, my dream, my own fragrance, of course. You know that.
Did you know George was design clothes for a little bit? George Zaharoff?
Yeah, I heard that's where he started, right?
Brooks Brothers.
Yes, that's what I heard. Yes, sir. And that's awesome. That's what a way to start. What a way to get into the fragrance.
He's so cool. I don't know if you watched a lot of his old YouTube videos, but he tells a lot about his story in some of them old YouTube videos. But man, that is so cool. I don't know if we said it or not, but tell everybody out there what's the name of your YouTube channel, and I'll put the link in the description when I post this video.
It's Solomon's Vineyard, SOLOMONS, Vineyard, VINYARD. That's
awesome.
It.
Okay, and I'll make sure I put a link
YouTube.
so everybody can go there and check it out. And guys, listen, man, I really love your channel. I love it. I like the moment we started following each other. I liked it because it's real. I love your vibe.
Yes.
Like I love your voice. You remind me of just a little bit. You remind me just a little bit from back in the 70s and 80s of Wolfman Jack a little bit with that voice. I don't know if you remember Wolfman.
Yes, I do.
You sound like him a little bit.
Yes, I do.
I love your vibe. You got that cool jazz vibe going, and
thank you, brother.
I think more people need to discover you and just get to know you. And I hope this is a good way to do it. And it'll be there forever for people to find and see and come discover you. And that was my goal. And I've really enjoyed getting to know you. I know we've had previous conversations before, and not just comments, but we've talked before. And I know the world's going to fall in love with you the way I have too. And so that's why I wanted to do this. So you got something to offer, and you know so much about fragrances, and you just know so much. So your daughter's got a good role model.
I love them, man. That's my joy right there, man. Those girls.
Yeah. Hopefully she'll follow in your footsteps and she'll pass both of us, and we'll both be looking at our taillights. Yeah.
Most definitely. She will, man.
That's going to be awesome. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm so honored from the bottom of my heart, guys. Please check out this good man. This is Russel Mack from Solomon's Vineyard. Please check him out. And
come on
thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I love you.
We'll be talking real soon.